Maybe that's why. That was stupid.
Yo.
Good morning, shut-ins!
Yo.
I am pre-anything, so apparently I was just trying to figure out why the Zoom audio wasn't working, not why our microphones wasn't. But good morning, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to everyone on Instagram. No, we're good now. I just totally... It's early. Good morning, Sawyer. Yeah, we're here. Thanks for joining us, guys. We appreciate you joining us every day. We actually have a really cool show today.
What's up, Sawyer?
As you can see, Eric is just finishing some Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's our final day of Cinnamon Toast Crunch sponsorship for breakfast. Finish that up. How you feeling this morning?
I am tired.
So Jeff, if you would promise not to only shave all of this off, and then if you don't do that, if you promise not to do that, then I might entertain it. But I have a feeling you'd go right for the middle first. That's what I would do if I was going to prank somebody with a haircut, which I actually did to Jason Trentholm years ago, during a Patriots Super Bowl. We all agreed that three of us agreed we were gonna shave our heads in solidarity for the Pats. And Jay was like, I'll go first. And so I gave him a monk's cut.
I think I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, I hear you, Jeff. I wouldn't make any promises either. It's too tempting. We have an awesome show today. And by the way, shout out to the Talking Dead. We love those guys. They had a cool show the other day with a bunch of folks on. Yeah, they managed to do those group conversations really well. We kind of stay away from. Oh, it's the milk and oatmeal cookie combo going on right now.
Oh yeah. It's actually Cinnamon Toast Crunch milk and oatmeal cookie combo. Just so you guys.
Damn. Welcome everyone, including from the MassCannabis community. We appreciate you guys joining us every day. In fact, before I get to who the guests are, which by the way are Danko, Mary Jane Green, and Andrew Mutty. And Grant Smith isn't going to join. He's going to join us tomorrow. We just spoke, which is awesome because tomorrow we have Shailene Title on.
What up, Jen?
I get so nervous when Shailene messages me. It's like one of the few people that she messages me, and I'm like, oh no, Shailene messaged me. I feel like it's probably never for anything good. But it wasn't. It was fine. But I was still like, oh no.
No, you just got a crush on her.
No, well, not like, I mean, it's actually like a professional crush. Yeah, Jessica, I just need a haircut. So just so everyone knows, this is like 3 months. It's been about almost 3 months since I had a haircut.
Shailene's coming on today?
Tomorrow. Shailene's coming on tomorrow.
Oh.
But today we have a cool lineup because we have Danko from High Times Magazine.
Danny Dank.
Who also has a new podcast out called Grow Bud Yourself. Grow Bud Yourself. Grow Bud Yourself. He's basically teaching how to grow bud, but it sounds like he's saying grow bud yourself. So it's a catchy name.
Interesting.
Yeah, right. Yeah, my hair's awful. I need a. Yeah, I have a professional crush on Shailene. I'll admit it. It's just a professional crush, though. She's totally married. And
well, I got a professional crush on a lot of people.
I bet you do.
A lot of women.
I bet you do.
I don't want to start naming names, but
Are you?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. I figured you were.
I mean, I will. I'm not scared. Ain't nobody scared to I ain't scared to let no girl know that I have a crush on you. And I say it just like that to him.
Yeah, Scott, I hear you. I've been thinking about it, just doing the sides, but then this is too long. Needs to be a little shorter. Yeah, Danny Danko's awesome, so he's gonna come on and tell us what's up.
What's up, Robert? What it do, baby?
We're gonna have Andrew Mutty from
Scotty
Beantown,
too.
Greentown. Come on. What's up, Hako?
Scotty Too Hottie. What
What's
it
up?
do?
Rachel. What's up, Rachel? Ramon Dolan.
Who's that? Always been scared. Hell nah.
Who said that?
It's somebody from my high school. What up, yo? How you doing? I got a lot of people from my high school starting to like all of a sudden
Pop up.
come alive.
That's
in
cool.
all my-
Right?
That's not a good thing though. You know, people don't like to see themselves. Don't like people from high school to see them new selves, to see their new transformation. That's not a good thing. Y'all start judging each other. Y'all look at each other like, damn, okay, I see you changed, a little different. So what you do for a living? Yeah.
Well, right now we're all under quarantine, and so you're just
Yeah, you're right.
You're
Don.
chilling like the rest of us.
I do need a haircut. I'm finna shave again. So the reason why I'm letting my hair grow back out because look it, as bald as my head has been for as long as it's been, I've never shaved my head. I've shaved it one time, and that one time it
What's up,
got
Sarah?
all messed up.
Don.
So this was my second time shaving it because I got a new pair of clippers that I wanted to use. That's awesome. So I shaved them again, and it got messed up again. So now I gotta let my hair grow back and let it heal up, and then I'm gonna shave it again. And hopefully, eventually, I'll find the right combination of aftershave and stuff to protect my head. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys
I'm gonna drink
remember
this.
Kiss. You guys remember Christy Lynn, the hair artist, the beautiful hair artist that we brought on. The one that Mike had a crush on. She sent us these. These are her new product called Exhale.
Now it's real sexy because it's covered in milk.
I need a towel. This is not cool.
We're
This is not cool.
in a pandemic. There's a shortage on towels. Hold on.
Okay, so you guys just
That's a
had to
sock.
witness that. That was me giving appreciate that. That was me giving an introduction to her company, which I clearly fucked up. Okay, let's try this again. Let's fix the Instagram. Now that the earthquake went by, let's try to fix everything back how it was. Yeah, it was bad. I know. I'm sorry, guys. So, as I was saying, Christy Lynn is a friend of mine.
I remember her. She's cool.
She started making products probably 2 days after she came on, and she was doing it live on Facebook. But this is her new product. It's called Exhale. Can you guys see that? And these are shea butter products. This one is coconut oil, shea butter, Himalayan salt, vitamin E oil, jojoba oil,
Jojoba.
and fragrance. And it has like some added fragrance. Stop being ghetto.
It's because your laptop is too slimline.
All right. So this is one of them. This is another one. This one's for dry skin. It's coconut oil. This is the one I rubbed on my body today, by the way. This one is for dry skin because I got alligator skin, so it's like I'm naturally always dry. But this has coconut oil, shea butter, baba oil, Himalayan salt, vitamin E oil, and lavender. And then this is what it looks like. So you guys can see the inside. And I was rubbing that all over my body like this while I was in the mirror.
Damn.
Yep. Did it nice, smooth like. So now I'm all nice and silky smooth.
So I was sniffing the keyboard because somebody asked if Eric had spilled milk on the keyboard, and he didn't. But it definitely, I got a whiff of pickled egg juice from the keyboard for a second, so that's why I was really smelling it.
He is dramatic.
No, so
you want to smell it. You know how it is. You know how it is when you just wanna be dramatic and you wanna smell something, so you gonna smell it because you thinking about it. He's just dramatic. It's like somebody be like even if you just sit next to somebody and you be like, I farted, they gonna be like, they gonna be trying to wait for the smell. You know what I'm talking about? You be like, let me wait for this naked. That's nasty. That's the same thing he doing right now. Come on. You guys gotta understand.
Morning, everybody. Morning, Karina.
Oh, she does
Lady
dope
J,
design. This how it
Jessica
comes shipped in
Sheila.
the mail with a bunch of peanuts. I know you
Christy
guys
Lee.
like peanuts, like the little peanut packaging things.
People like that?
I like.
Oh,
them.
the popping ones, you mean?
No, those are.
You mean the peanut ones that get everywhere and you can never get rid of, like tinsel?
Yeah, if you got
Okay.
a dog,
Yep.
most of the time dogs love them. I know my dog loves them, so she sends them in peanuts though.
Jody, we received the waterproof keyboard, but it doesn't come with a trackpad, and this one has a little trackpad on it. But at some point soon, we're going to be eventually changing locations, and when we do that, this table won't be a part of it, and so I'll have a mouse going, so that keyboard will be great. Don't worry, it'll go to good use.
Smells amazing too. And Christy, I texted her this morning to get in the comments, but she probably ain't looking at my comments because she be doing her own thing.
Christy was an awesome guest. We had a lot of fun with her. I did.
What?
I just
What kind of fun?
well,
What
interview
was you saying?
style fun.
Yeah,
Interview style.
Interview stuff. Yeah, keep it that way.
Woo.
Nah, that's the homie. That's my sister.
Crushity crush.
Nah, that's my sister.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
What's up, Don? What's up, everybody? Good morning, stranger. Because all we can see is it says.
Heather Marie Brown said, "By the sound of it, you should be sniffing Eric. Let us know how he smells with the new butter."
Nope. No thanks.
Come on, Mike. That's what you gotta satisfy the crowd. You gotta say the people speak. Listen to the people.
No, it's gonna be one of those things that like I accidentally fall over onto you.
Whoa! All right, no.
Yeah, we don't need to do.
Let's not think of the most
risk.
worst thing that can possibly happen in that situation.
High risk live show. I already started the show with not knowing which button to unmute, so I'm gonna take it easy for today's show.
Yeah, I dropped that stuff earlier. That was not my fault. That was just the devil working his magic today, trying to stop us from doing our thing thizzle. And we overcame it. We got the milk up. We got this advertised. And we back on the show.
Mm-hmm. Sure are. Today's tie is a Versace, which is actually pretty dope. It's like purple with little flowers on it, little checker pattern. I like it. Somebody's going to a birthday party. I forget who usually posts all of those icons. That's
Trish.
That might be Trish. Oh yeah, because it's all caps. Of course, it's
Yeah.
Trish. Trish, have fun at your birthday party.
We know is you.
Thanks to everyone who's liking the stream. We appreciate it. When you share
Vanessa.
it too. It helps.
Paradise.
And plus, today's a really cool show. So let's talk about. Oh, Vanessa's on. Hey, Vanessa. Vanessa's on, by the way, on Thursdays at. I want to say
Thirsty
like 11.
Thursday
15,
for all
15.
you thirsty Thursdays out there who
I gotta add that
like
to the crawl.
who like to have a good Thursday. Make sure you get home safe right after you get past third base.
Make sure you tag third, right?
That was a good one, right? I cracked myself.
Yeah, I love my Versace ties. Even the ugly ones are still pretty dope.
He just likes the name Versace.
I wanted to have a Cannabis Supper Club show episode in the Versace mansion down in South Beach.
Nice.
So yeah, we have really cool guests on today.
We
have a contest. So
cool
for 3 days in a row, we're doing. What does Ruben say?
Ruben said, "Do you guys eat, sleep, poop together or something?" Actually,
Would that
we only
make you
take the
happy?
handcuffs off for the show. So, other than that, yes, we do everything together, Ruben. Would you like to join? Would you like to make it a third party? If so,
You'll
just
be if so, you'll be bidding against a bunch of people in the
send your
audience.
send your email to send your resume to our email, and we'll get back to you in 27 to 30 business days. He said, "Cute."
So today we're doing the second of a 3-day in a row giveaway for a Massachusetts cannabis certification or recertification, and this is courtesy of Alternative Wellness Centers, Alternative Wellness Centers. Say it one more time. Alternative Wellness Centers, and MassCannabis Community, MassCann Community.
Joey P, what it do, baby?
So we're giving away one of these for free today, but today,
what a trooper, Nate.
Today,
yes.
it's for
Right, Katrina? You starting to get it now. So
no, you know what? I can't do that.
If you got any complaints,
all right.
30 business days is the is the limit. You send in any complaints, anything you want to send. If you want to just send some pictures to Mike, who knows the type of pictures? It can be anything. But if you want to send some pictures to Mike, he'll get back to you in 27 to 30 business days. We ain't even been on the show for 30 business days.
We have actually. Oh no, you're right. We're close. It's like 42. We're
days.
close.
Yeah.
We're like 1 or 2 away from
Not
30 business days.
Business days like 2 months
Yeah,
down
that's
there. Somebody say that to you, yo, you gotta fight me. If somebody was be like, yo, I'm sorry, we can't do nothing, you got to wait, 27, 30 business days. I'm sorry, you just got to fight me. That's way too long. It's way too long. I need to be feeling
So Scott,
good.
I don't know. That's weird. It's weird that they come in different like that. It's the same thing though. Yeah. So to be eligible for today's contest, no matter what, you need to be following Mass Cannabis Community. It's a Facebook group. Okay, so the link's there for everyone. You can click on that. If you want to win, if you get picked as a winner, trust me, they're all gonna be checking to make sure that you are following both Mass Cannabis Community, the Facebook group, and Alternative Wellness Centers on Facebook. So first of all, just make sure you're doing that. And by the way, you all know how to like minimize our show in Facebook and then still keep messing around on Facebook, right? You know you can keep staying on Facebook and still watch and listen to us. If you don't know about that, better ask somebody. Anyway, that's a requirement for today. So we're giving away a free Massachusetts medicinal cannabis certification or recertification. So you need these before you apply to the state. The state's like $50, but usually the certification part, because you're interfacing with medical professionals, it costs stuff, and so usually that's really expensive, and it's totally cost prohibitive for a lot of people. So we're giving away a couple, and there's also right now $100 deal going on with Alternative Wellness Centers for $100, and you get that by going through the Mass Cannabis Community page. So if you go there, they'll give you the email address and the code, and then you contact them. And yeah, Joey, I don't know how we're taxing this one. We're not, because we're trying to do some good, I think. So anyway, yeah, we can't tax this one. There's no half certification. So we're giving one away, and anyone can win. So what we're going to do right now is... I love it when people message me during the show, because it usually must mean that it's like super important. So, what should we do for a contest today? Yesterday's, I feel like...
How you guys going to tax this one? Yeah, Joey P. I'm glad you understand. I'm glad. Look at this is what I'm starting to like, that I'm able to engrave this into y'all that y'all understand that everything in life ain't free. Literally everything. Like no matter how much we say free on here, you gotta pay a
The
tax.
Eric tax.
And it's the same thing in real life. You can win a lottery, but guess what? You gotta pay that tax. So just understand we not like the lottery though. We don't have two forms. Like we don't do full handouts or payments. Every we just take what we want and you get whatever's left. Ain't no talking, none of that.
Simple Mind contest.
Pick a color, but it's too many people to pick a color because there's a lot of colors. Unless you want to go through that 101 Crayola box and we can pick one from there. They got the 101 colors and they be making up crazy names like sea, what is it, like sea algae green. It'd be like Rocky Mountain gray. I know y'all remember that. Don't try to act like y'all know. They be having some crazy colors and you be looking like, damn, that really do look like a sunset yellow. You right. Okay. I see what you did there, Crayola.
Morning, Amanda.
Hey, Amanda. Amanda's my crush.
She is.
Oh, yeah. She's became my comment crush.
Uh-huh.
I'm just starting stuff in the comments. Y'all know.
All right, so we're going to...
Mike was sitting here thinking about...
Danko. He's probably waiting in the...
Mike was sitting here thinking about...
There he is.
Mike is sitting here thinking about what to do for the favorite website to visit. Scott, if you can't pick my favorite website to visit, it's going to be too easy. Come on. Y'all know my favorite website. Come on, Scott. You got to pick a better one than that. We got... You said me or Mike's favorite website? It's the same one.
And somehow neither of us knew. It would be, how funny would it be for me to like accidentally log into your version of it and I'm like, what's these videos? What's these? I've never seen that stuff. Like, this is weird.
There you go. Katrina won. Shout out, dude. Shout out to Christina. Katrina, she's winning. She won today's. And she guessed it without even
All right, so I have an idea, and this will be cool because it'll include Danny Danko in this. So
okay. Oh, Amanda said, I'm blushing. Me too.
So, let's see. What would be a really cool thing? Because Danny Danko's been all over the world doing all kinds of stuff with cannabis, so he's got like the craziest stories, I'm sure, out of all of us. So I was trying to think of something like somebody could guess, I don't want to say like Danny Danko's favorite strain because they can probably just Google that and then look it up, but I was trying to think of
favorite superheroes. Too many people. Everybody just guess the superhero in one.
Yeah, no, that
minutes. It's got to be a big enough. It's got to be a broad enough subject that it takes at least an hour for people to guess.
Can I tell you something? The only people that don't like our contest are the people that have to like figure out who won in the comments.
But everybody else seem to be okay with it.
Everyone else loves them. Jen's like, tell them to pick a number between 1 and 10, and the first person to pick it wins. Like that's Jen's like, I need to get out of here.
Yeah, the contest would be over in 10 seconds.
Right. No, we want to encourage. So
the bone. Whoa.
All right. So we're gonna make the
make
the contest interesting today because we're gonna do infused jam with the Massachusetts certification. All right. So it's actually a big contest. This certification, by the way, is worth at least $100 depending on who you go to, and it can be worth up to like $250 depending on the place that you engage with to do it. And by the way, you got to pick a place you trust for that money. I would anyway. That said, infused jam and a free Massachusetts certification or recertification, because everyone out there, because rec is not happening in Massachusetts, a lot of you need a med card so you can go get cannabis legally if that's what you want to do. So this is a really cool contest. So jam and a certification is kind of one of our bigger.
How about they just pick?
Ever.
How about they pick my
Saturday,
favorite?
It's a big day.
How about they pick my favorite juice?
No. Here's what I'm gonna say is And Danny's not going to say it during the interview, but Danny's going to tell us his favorite
Oh, his
juice.
favorite juice.
And by the way, so like,
And it could be anything, Danny. It could be alcohol. It could be scissor.
so we'll just do drink, not even juice. Danny Danko's favorite drink.
any
All right.
type of any liquid.
So hold on, everyone. What you need to do before you start guessing is you need to tag somebody in the comments and then list and say Danny Danko's favorite drink is this. Okay, so that's the
V.
contest.
Sarah V said
As
I
many-
never win though.
So you got to guess more. That's how this
Yeah,
works.
Sarah, don't-
that's why
don't
maybe
come in
Sarah.
here
Maybe
with that
that's why you're not a
negativity.
super fan.
Don't come in here with
I'm
that
just kidding.
negativity.
So by the way, for some
We don't
reason,
want to hear that.
no. So it's Danny Danko's favorite drink ever. Okay, there's not that many, and you need to tag somebody and say Danny Danko's favorite drink is this, and that's your guess.
Scott said I need
guess as many
answers
times as you want.
ASAP. Danny, you got to send us your answer, man.
Yeah,
In the message.
so he's been so super patient. I know Danny's always busy, even when
Danny is
it's a
sitting there
Saturday.
thinking like, damn, I ain't never had to think of my favorite drink. This shit finna be hard for me.
Danny's like, this is really weird. I can't believe.
This is how y'all do y'all contests and keep people interested.
Danny, welcome to the show, Danny Danko. We appreciate you joining us this morning.
Oh, thank you for having me.
What's up, buddy?
So Danny, everyone out there has heard of you, even kind of like, non-cannabis folks. Like, I think your name is one of those names that's so memorable. A lot of folks have heard of it, or think they've heard of it. You've been writing for High Times for years. You've also written a book. And forgive me because it's so small. Remind us of the title of your book. Everyone can see it on the screen, but I can't.
Yes, it's called Cannabis, A Beginner's Guide to Growing Marijuana. And it's actually my second book. I wrote one in 2011, which was the official High Times Field Guide to Marijuana Strains.
Aha. Okay.
So that one's more just descriptions of different strains. And then this one is really just for the entry-level person interested in growing their own, all the basics that they need to know. I found that, there was like a lot of textbooks when I got started, Ed Rosenthal, Jorge Cervantes, but they were dense and they were really kind of daunting to get into. So I wanted something a little more entry level for beginners so grandma could start her own little garden and grow her own medicine.
That's amazing. And actually, you just started a podcast. I think you had one episode so far, and it's called Go Grow Yourself, right? Did I say that right?
It's Grow Bud Yourself.
Grow Bud Yourself. I'm sorry. It's definitely right on the screen.
Yeah, no worries. I had done one called Free Weed from Danny Danko since about 2011 is when we got started with that one. And that was with High Times. So this is separately and independent. And so the name is Grow Bud Yourself. And you can even go to growbudyourself.com to listen and subscribe and everything. We've got a Patreon page. We've got, our social media and stuff like that. But we just got started. We literally dropped the first episode of the new show on Thursday. So, it's with Kyle Cushman, my former colleague at High Times and great grower and cultivator friend.
Yeah, so actually, I was listening to your episode. I appreciated the audio production quality. It was
we
good.
got ourselves USB mics like I see you have. I have that on the computer, but my son's in there right now on the computer, so I'm at my neighbor's where I can actually smoke, but I'm on my phone. So yeah, the sound, we got ourselves the USB mics that go into the computer. Not all of our guests have as great of sound, but I think people are more forgiving these days as far as that goes. If the information's there, I think people are happy.
Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, we're all like living in a Zoom world, I guess, these days, or something like it. So we're all kind of used to, the sort of canned telephone sound a little bit, right? So you've always been so busy. You're super active in the cannabis industry and sort of the cannabis event space, and obviously things recently changed significantly, right? I think this was probably the first 420 ever that folks were all sitting huddled in front of computer screens instead of gathered in some giant park or field or something. But you guys you were doing some stuff for charity on 420. Can you tell us about it and tell us what 420 was like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I just went from show to show all day, kind of just smoking with people and trying to make the best of what's obviously, a rough 420 for us. We were planning, the whole month out as a really big event. And obviously, with High Times, we would have a cannabis cup around pretty much any 420 that happened. We do the countdowns for West Coast and for East Coast and everybody in between. And, so yeah, I mean, it was definitely different, but I did get to participate in some really cool shows. And, again, we make the best of it. We're from the underground, so we can go back underground and do whatever we need to do to survive. So, there's an industry, but there's also a community. And it was interesting to see it be more about the community than the industry.
Oh, for sure, right? Because and it's sort of an interesting thing because we had the owner or head of a large cannabis convention come on the other day and sort of talk about his plans for the multi-state convention. And right now everything's postponed, but he's also sort of looking at the idea that things might just get canceled, and who knows if large scale events are going to look the way that they do anymore. And it's really interesting because when I talk to him about like virtualizing events, and he doesn't feel like, he feels like the value proposition for sponsors is so low in those that like there's not really much money to be made in large scale events that are online. And I and I don't know if I necessarily disagree with him because, a lot of the value I think of the cannabis events are being able to like meet in person and having, I get it. This is a great conversation. This is what we can do right now. But ideally, we'd be in person, either passing that joint or at least, just you get the feel of somebody when you're there in person. And so when you're trying to like do business or just enriching connections, like it's a little bit tougher to do it like this. Um, so it's, I don't know. I guess my point being is that, I wonder what, and maybe what's your opinion on what do you think is going to happen with large scale cannabis events? Do you think, because the opinion of a guy who runs them is like, I don't know if they're even going to be viable anymore financially. And certainly the alternatives, the virtual ones, don't necessarily generate revenue for the people who are organizing it. So, what are we left with? Are we left with the Zoom meetings with 10 people in it, and we're talking about important and cool things, but, is that what do you think is going to be? I don't know. What do you sort of envision? And because you're sort of, you've got your finger on the pulse of a lot of this, because you're out there so much. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think short term, we're not going to be seeing a lot of large events. I mean, that's pretty obvious. A lot of cancellations through the summertime and all of that. I think a lot depends on, what happens with the vaccine, what happens with, the virus in general. If we can figure out, a way to fight back against it. Because, I mean, where I am here in New York, there's no conspiracy theories. We know what's going on. There's bodies out there, and it's taking a serious toll, and everyone is afraid to catch it. And so I do think there's going to be some type of an event in the future. It might not be thousands and thousands of people, but there's ways to maintain social distancing and still have people together in the same space. I mean, if someone has a booth, you can have people approach that booth one at a time. Here where people are waiting in lines, they wait 6 feet apart, and there's distancing that's built into the lines and things like that. I mean, I do envision people wanting to get back together. It's a human impulse, and cannabis is a social thing. It's something we like to share. We like to share information. We like to share joints, although I definitely see that as being something that's in the past as far as passing joints and blunts and bongs. I think people are going to be very more careful about being hygienic as far as how they consume cannabis. I think there's a lot of products coming out now, disposable one hitters, and the mouthpiece that goes over the bong or the pipe and things like that. I think are very important, and I think part of the future of how we're going to consume cannabis. But again, like I said, we come from the underground and being sort of hidden, and I think in a way we're kind of better equipped than some other industries or communities to deal with this and handle it, because we've had the government on our backs for 75, 80 years, and we've had a lot of fear already instilled in us, and ways around things, ways to get around the rules, or ways to get around whatever is the prevailing notion. So I do think there's a future, but again, I think it's more community than industry, and it's more about creating your own cannabis, maybe, being self-sufficient, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Now that we're all sort of shut in, we're not doing like traveling, we're not doing, we're sort of like settling into a slightly different routine. I know some of us are busier than ever, but a lot of us are sort of settling into, like, we've got time, for instance, to either like read books or watch Netflix shows or stuff like that, maybe. Have you found yourself like suddenly having time in your life to do stuff that you were always looking forward to that you were never able to make time for?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely binged a few shows lately. That's for sure. Just did the third season of Ozark, which was incredible.
I love that show. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely find more time for that, but also more time to plan my next episode of my show, or whatever the next step is, as far as selling books, getting onto other people's shows and promotion, and really just trying to stay in touch with people as well. I mean, it's easy to sort of fall into a hole and be on your own and not make the phone call and not check in on a friend. But I think now's the time to check in and at least understand that everybody's struggling through this, and cannabis helps, that's for sure. I mean, that's one universal thing I've found, whether I've been speaking to people in Poland or Vancouver or Boston or anywhere else. It's the cannabis helps, and people who don't have it, I feel real bad for. And I hope people understand that it's something you can produce yourself. You can get started now, and within a couple months, 3 months, 4 months, you can have jars full of cannabis, for pennies to the dollar, if you just get a grow tent and get started. So
yeah, that's true, right?
Yeah,
it's interesting, and because in Massachusetts, where medicinal is still legal, but rec is not allowed to be open, they're not considered an essential operation. There's a lot, like, as many people as there are with medicinal licenses, the lines in front of rec dispensaries are typically out the door and like around the side of the building here in Massachusetts, because the rollout had been slow. And it really just go to show you that, like, as much as many of us might be like, I'd never pay rec prices, like that's insane, or like with the taxes, right? Like I'd never pay $400 or $500 an ounce. Why would I do it? There's so many people out there that are perfectly willing to do that. They just need access to cannabis. And a lot of us, and I don't know how you feel about it, but a lot of us feel that a lot of people that are using recreationally don't realize that they're actually sort of alleviating symptoms or stuff that would be considered medicinal. They're actually using it medicinally, and often like they'll go on vacation for a week and not have access to cannabis, and suddenly they're like, why am I so anxious? Why am I feeling depressed? Why am I angry? Usually I'm not like this. So it's just interesting here in Massachusetts, because I think there's probably a lot of people trying to find access into the gray market, because there's a lot of people that are uncomfortable with a medicinal card in Massachusetts, because there's always been implications around your ability to still like retain a gun license and stuff like that. So, are you West Coast or East Coast these days?
I'm in Brooklyn in New York City, but I grew up in Boston, and I covered the rec opening of Netta just last year, and my roots are all in New England. Shout out to Eric too. It does it does seem weird that they consider medical, essential, and rec not essential, when to us the only difference is just a card that a doctor gives you. I mean, it's just like you have to ask for permission. I mean, and that's all that is. So I'm sure it's a boon to the doctors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But In other places, it's the rec has been deemed essential, like California and Colorado, I believe. So it is strange that it's like this state by state sort of thing. It's like, we really do need that federal change to the law that just takes it off of any schedule, not schedule 1 or 2 or 3, but just off the schedule. You don't see tobacco or alcohol or any of those things, sugar. None of those are on a drug schedule. And cannabis, I think, is safer than all 3 of those.
Well,
ultimately.
And considering all the liquor stores are considered essential services, you would like to think that a recreational, cannabis retailer would be considered as well, especially since they're allowing recreational cultivators and manufacturers to still stay open and produce as long as they're right now lifting and shifting back over to the medicinal side so that there's stuff available there.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's so strange that that they're making these strange delineations between things. I mean, really, they should just free it all up and not have all that kind of overregulation of cannabis at all. I mean, it just seems so silly that people who don't know anything about it are making all these decisions for people who, like you said, like who's to decide what's medical and what's rec? I mean, in many cases, it's obvious if someone has epilepsy or something like that. But if you're talking about anger, like you said, or post-traumatic stress, or just basically just wanting to feel good, enhance life, these basic things. That's what Dr. Lester Linspoon says. It just enhances things. So whatever that might be, that's medical. I mean, if something makes you feel better, then that's, medical, whether it's a cup of tea or, whatever else, medical you might do. But it does seem strange that we still have this yoke of kind of oppression on us, even in a state like Massachusetts, where people think, oh, it's wide open, it's rec stores everywhere. And, ultimately it's still, for those businesses, it's very difficult to comply with all the different regulations and rules they have to deal with. They're constantly changing.
Well, and I know I had heard that they were trying to potentially change that and allow for the rec dispensaries to open up, but certainly for some really small business owners, like the economic empowerment folks, the social equity folks here in Massachusetts that opened up a rec dispensary, if they're not allowed to be open right now, certainly they're probably in more danger of their business failing than a larger corporation with deeper pockets that can maybe swing a few months being down,
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, here in New York, they changed the rules so that restaurants can deliver booze, so that even the restaurant can bring you liquor so that you can buy margaritas to go and things like that. I don't see why they're not doing cannabis delivery. I mean, they are in California, and they have curbside pickups in Michigan and things like that. So it is weird. It's this strange time that we're living in, where one state is one way and another one is completely the opposite. And there's no governing, federal law that rules over all of it.
For a long time, Eric used to ask every guest some questions, and we sort of fell out of that, I think, usually because I just steamroll through everything. But you usually had your sort of standard questions that you'd ask every guest, which I think is really good because right?
Yeah, Danny. So the questions I just asked is just for people out there who don't know you. Just kind of tell us 3 to 5 things people don't know about you.
Wow. Things people don't know about me?
Yeah, just something that you think people would be surprised that they heard, or
like maybe you hate black licorice,
or maybe you could do a handstand.
Well, my first published work in a cannabis space was actually in cannabis culture. I wrote a couple of limericks that were published back when I was at Headcase, which was a hemp clothing company in the 90s. And I was just Danny the Hempster. So there is cannabis culture out there that has Danny the Hempster limericks in it. And I actually won a prize as well. So that's my first, published work. And my second was in the Dig, the first ever issue of the Weekly Dig in Boston, and it was an interview with Keith Straub from Normal, and that must have been about 98 or 99, whenever they started their magazine there.
Very cool.
And yeah, so I don't know, that's something people don't know. Also, I'm not a weed snob. You know what I mean? Like, I will smoke whatever you put in front of me for the most part. I mean, unless it's moldy or just awful. But I love going to, Jamaica or Costa Rica or places like that and trying what they have, even though, in some cases it doesn't compare to what we have. I like the differences, and, I love import hash, Moroccan hash or Nepalese hash, things like that. I'll prefer that in some cases to an amazing dab of something, phenomenal, just because it's a whole different feeling, and it's a whole different vibe. It's got a different terroir, like we talk about with wine. So, I would say that too. People sometimes assume that, I'm like, looking down on all their weed or whatever. And ultimately, if it burns right and feels right and tastes right, then I like it.
Heck yeah,
Nice.
and of course, I'm sure if people are following the tips in your book, then they're much more likely to be growing stuff that looks and tastes and smells amazing.
Somebody said, "What's your favorite strain?"
Favorite strain? I usually say strawberry cough, because I grew it, I smoke it, I love it. It was a dream to grow it, and it's so unique and different from a lot of other strains. When you have the real strawberry cough, so I usually say that, you know what I mean? But it seems to change, week to week or day to day. I like to switch it up too. I think that's an important thing. You can get used to smoking the same thing over and over. I have friends out in Cali that's just kush, kush, kush. That's all they smoke, and I think they get immune after a while, to anything. And then you smoke them out with something different, and they're like, "Whoa, this is different." So, but that's my standard answer: strawberry cough.
It's funny because somebody very early on, as soon as you came on, said strawberry. I remember seeing strawberry cough in the comments, because I think we were like, I had said we can't make the guess for the contest what's his favorite strain, because somebody's just going to Google it and they're going to win right away. And like within 10 seconds, and I didn't really think about it because I was trying to get ready for you, but I remember seeing strawberry cough in the comments, because clearly somebody immediately went out and Googled that and was like, Danny's favorite strain, strawberry cough. And
they might tell me too.
Our Nick the intern, who's our intern on the show, is wondering if you're a Wu-Tang fan.
I am a Wu-Tang fan for sure. I've actually had the opportunity to hang out with the members of the Wu-Tang Clan and smoke and chill and reason with all of them. And I'm a big fan of their lyricism and music and performances, but also just as people too. They're like really chill, mellow dudes. You know what I mean? Particularly Jizza, Method Man. Those dudes, they're very mellow and chill, and I consider Redman kind of almost like a part of the crew, even though he's not like officially Wu. But he's one of the greatest people, in the world, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Back in the day, I was the only person I knew who had a Redman album.
He's an amazing person, and you know what? He could be cashing in cannabis if he wanted to, and he doesn't, because if he's gonna get into it, he's gonna get into it for the right reasons, and he knows, like, he's on a different level when it comes to cannabis too. He knows about glandular trichomes and essential oil, and he's on top of that stuff. So of all the celebs or whoever out there that I've met, he's one of the ones who definitely like knows this shit and like keeps it real.
Heck yeah.
Somebody say you should host a Zoom sesh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down. We recorded the show over Zoom, which is a new thing for us too, because we have always just been playing pure audio. We didn't do video, but now we have all this video, so we're gonna throw some stuff up on YouTube from the show. Kyle takes us through his garden. It's funny because it's back to everything back to full circle, and these people who were growing in these 40,000 square foot warehouses are now putting tents up in their homes again. And he takes us through his grow tent and his little setup there too. So I figured that would be great to add onto video. But yeah, I'd love to host the Zoom sesh. I'm just new to the technology, so I'm figuring it out, you know.
Well, the podcast is definitely of a high quality. I worked at NPR for years, so I was exposed to all of their podcasts on a regular basis, and the production quality on your audio podcast is really good. What I will say though is that when we did a study at NPR, and the open and listen rate for an audio file was somewhere around like 8%, and to like listen through all the way. And that same audio file, if we turned it into video, even just with like slides running as video, it went up to like 74% click through and listen. So there's just something about the visual aspect of it. Don't get me wrong, it makes there's a lot of folks that listen to our show, even though we're a visual show. There's a bunch of people that are just listening right now. But it's good for folks, I guess, to have the option, right? And
yeah, I think a lot of people just have YouTube in their house too, and it's just convenient to just YouTube, boom, on the TV, and it's there. They listen to music that way, they listen to podcasts that way. I mean, I do it myself. I catch myself just dropping into a YouTube wormhole.
Oh, for sure, right? And by the way, how cool is the thought of somebody consuming your content on their living room screen?
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, it is
right?
Amazing to think. Yeah, and like they're trimming their harvests, or
right?
They're like tending their plants. I get a lot of emails and things from people about like how they listen to the show, and it's interesting. It's like the same as any other show, really. Like a lot of people are on a commute to work or something, and it's on there in their car. They play it, and a lot of people are actually working in the grow room, and it just helps them to sort of focus in on what they're doing. And I think, that's an important thing about this time as well, is we have all this time now, and you can use it wisely. You can mix it up. I mean, that's what I say, to sit on the couch and binge something for 9 hours, and then wake up the next day and go for a run and do, scratch like 10 things off your to-do list, go through the attic, that's my next step, is even starting today, is I'm going to start going through a lot of my storage stuff, because I have so much cool old High Times things that I just, came back from an event, just threw it in a drawer, threw it in a box, and some of it's one of a kind, some of it. So I'm going to start telling the story on my social media and documenting some of that stuff. And I'm going to hopefully in the end, probably give it to one of these cannabis museums and let them have at it, because I don't need it personally. It's like part of history, and I don't really, I don't need it in the attic.
Maybe somebody wants to angel invest into the Danko Cannabis Museum, and I'm sure there's thousands of people out there that would love to send you stuff to add to the museum as well. So
don't need more stuff. I'm trying to get rid of stuff.
No, well, I mean, but this would be perfect, because somebody would literally help you to get like a big place where you could just dump all this stuff without having to throw it away, right? Because of course, it's stuff you don't ever want to get rid of, but you also don't need it out all the time, and
right. Yeah, so that's my next project, is really just to go through 25 years of cannabis events and history, and every laminate and every guidebook, and things that, I mean, it is crazy when I think back to like cannabis cups that were back in Amsterdam and with Jack Herrer, and some of the people from the pictures and stuff are gone, and I do think it's part of our history, so I'm going to try to go through and document some of that.
That's awesome. Danny, we really appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us for so long and being patient while we were running a little late. We made sure to put all of your links in the comments. We pinned them all to the top. So everyone, make sure that you're subscribing to his podcast. Make sure you're following him on Instagram and Facebook. And go buy his book, because if you have his book and then you happen to run into him when this is all over.
They say you got a Wikipedia, Danny.
I do have a Wikipedia, and the newest one is just growbudyourself.com. I just bought that domain and just directed it right to where the website lives.
Nice.
And if people want to support, the Patreon page, that's where listeners can tip us as creators. So me and Mike, like I said, neither one of us is working for High Times anymore. We wish them all the best. That might change in the future. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, this pandemic has people on furloughs and all kinds of things. So but right now we're on our own. We're independent. So if people don't own a cannabis company and they can't advertise their product, but they do want to support the show, you can support it through Patreon for just as little as $4.20 a month. And then you get extra exclusive content too. Like, that's where we're going to put that Kyle Fishman footage of the grow and things like that. And it's a place where we can interact with like our listeners, and it's a community of, grow bud yourself listeners.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Smart idea. Very smart. Danny, thank you so much for hanging out with us for a while. We're going to make sure that all of and I need you to message me when you get off and let me know what your favorite drink is, so that at the end of the show we can pick a contest winner.
Yeah, Scott's pissed already that he got to go through all these comments.
So Scott is our super fan, and Scott, unfortunately, when he took that role on, didn't realize that he was going to be the hardest working person on this show.
No breaks, no nothing.
He shows up every day, and while we're
talking...
Well,
he took one break yesterday. He took one break, and that was completely our fault. We shouldn't have allowed it, but we allowed him to slip. And so we had to do some stuff to get him back up today. So
Scott has been hard at work making sure that all of your links and everything else for your book, the podcast, your social accounts are all up there so that people can follow you. So thanks, dudes. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and we hope you come back at some point and check in again with us.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Keep disrupting. Shout out Mike and Eric and Scott. Mike, Eric, and Scott, thank you for having me on the show. Appreciate the support, and stay safe, stay strong, stay high, and grow bud yourself.
Yes, heck yeah, man. We'll see you on your next episode too, or hear you.
Yeah.
All right, take care, man.
Thanks.
Danny Danko, everyone. I have to say that Danny, like, he's such a nice guy, but it's also and I've met him before. He probably doesn't remember. He came on Nikan TV at
yeah, he's still listening, so just make sure you choose your words wisely now.
No, he came on. We were doing like a Nikan TV branded thing for Nikan last year in Boston, and he actually came on. We chased him down, and he was really nice enough to come on and do a quick interview with us back then. But I'm sure I'm one of like a million people that he meets, so of course he wouldn't have remembered that. But he's really cool. We appreciate him coming on, and he's gonna message me and let me know. He's gonna let me know what his favorite drink is.
Everybody been putting stuff hard, so just put something simple.
Oh, they've all been picking crazy drinks?
Yep. I ain't seen no orange juice, no apple juice, no grape juice.
So everyone's picking like an alcoholic drink. That's interesting.
I'm glad picking like infused drinks. Y'all, this is an overall thing. You never know. He might wake up every morning and drink apple juice, and that might be his thing.
Yeah, and so by the way, Scott, did you realize that Scott just got a shout out from Danny Danko?
Yeah, that's shout out.
Scott, I hope that.
Oh yeah, Nate. Look, if Nate jealous that you got a shout out, then you should be definitely feeling some type of way, because Nate don't get jealous about a lot of things.
And Sawyer, what's up, Sawyer? We see you on YouTube. We appreciate you watching. Yeah, so y'all better keep guessing on his favorite drink.
Milk.
And you know what I'll do is I'll look, and maybe he messaged me. If he messaged me what it is, maybe we'll give you all a hint.
Yeah, we'll come up with a hint.
No, not yet. We'll see, though. I'll hit him up before the end of the show.
He's probably thinking about it still.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not sure. He's
like, this is the worst
thing. He's like, I don't want to put it like orange juice. I was going to say orange juice.
Yeah, for all the people who already put their comments, if you guys want to help Scott out, you can re-comment what you said. If you remember what you said, just put it again. Because sometimes Scott can't scroll all the way up. And this is our way of helping Scott. If you don't want to help him and you want to keep him miserable, don't do that. Absolutely don't. Just be like, I don't care what you're saying, Eric. If I said if that was my comment and it's way up there and he gotta go look, then he gotta go look. And I feel you on that. Sometimes you don't be wanting to type out what you already said. I wouldn't want to say something twice neither. That's how I am. You know, if I say it to you once, you ain't hear it. Well, you ain't hearing it again. Sorry about it. So I feel y'all. For all the people out there that want to harass Scott, I would definitely be part of that boat y'all want to hop on. If I can't see it, you don't win. Scott said if he can't see it, you don't win. Don't worry, I got y'all back though. If y'all say y'all won, I'ma back y'all. Remember, it's gotta be 3 people that agree. It's 3 votes. It's 3 votes. It's me, Mike, and Scott. So you just gotta get 2 of the votes. So if you could get me and Mike's vote.
Yeah, and Scott, and by the way, Scott already has. Scott's reminding everyone that you need to tag somebody as well. So you're picking Danny's favorite drink, but you're supposed to tag somebody. Amanda's
Amanda
knows.
doing it right.
That's why Amanda wins contest. That's why Amanda wins contest.
And she's putting some crazy answers.
So just if you remember the last couple of ones you picked, you can pick them again, but you got to tag somebody. And I wouldn't tag the same person over and over again because they're gonna be mad. And don't tag Eric because he's gonna block you.
Joey P, you got beef? Nah, yeah, I got beef. What's up? What you want to do? Hold on, bro. What's up? What's up? What's up, Joey? What's up? What's up? What's up, Joey? Yeah.
Is it that Joey's late?
Yeah. Nah, he said you got beef.
Oh, in all caps.
So I'm letting him know. Yeah, I got beef, homie. You see where I stay? Come on over here.
Hi, Rebecca. We're happy you're joining. Whenever you're joining. We're gonna go over next if he's
Rebecca late every day.
Ready, and he is.
We got to get one of those. They got to get one of the comment things. The top fans.
Yeah, so I think I figured it out. So for some reason, Facebook removed everyone's designation, or somebody, one of the
y'all wasn't doing
moderators or
enough.
admins probably did something by accident.
Y'all wasn't doing enough.
Supposedly, you guys have to accept your top fan badges again. So if you go back to Disrupt, there's wherever you found it before is where you find it again.
Joey P said
They don't let me be a top fan.
You don't want to step to this, Joey. You don't want these problems, Joey. I'm telling you, my brother. Rebecca says not Joey P, it's Joey Pie. Why would I say Joey Pie? Joey P sounds better. Scott, you better let him know, Scott. I'm bigger in person. These cameras right here, this camera right here not doing no justice. I'm a lot bigger in person, yo. I'm telling you. Joey, you don't want these problems. What's up, Michael Wynn? Dr. King Bud coming through. Who is that?
Oh yeah, Dr. Kindbud. Is it I thought it was Dr. Kind.
Oh, what I said.
But
King?
is it Dr. Kind
Oh, I was
Bud?
reading too fast.
Mutty, isn't it Dr. Kind? Or is it Dr. Kind Bud? He apparently can't hear me yet. He's just getting ready.
Marie said it's so funny to see Eric being a tough guy. Why is that? I'm always tough. What you mean? It's so funny. Don't be taking my look at. I'm tired of y'all taking my toughness as a joke. Y'all don't know. Y'all haven't seen my career. Y'all haven't seen my highlights.
He does.
Y'all better stop
taking
taking me. Y'all better stop taking me lightly around here.
He does put people to sleep on the football field. That's why I don't know.
I've ended people's careers. I've ended people's careers, yo.
In like a split second.
Like people went from dreaming to play football for their entire life to not doing it no more. And I don't take pride in that. But I'm just letting y'all know y'all better quit fucking with me. Alright? Joey.
So Nick the intern offered weeks ago that you could like full tackle him. He was like, "That would be great. That would be great for the show, wouldn't it?" And I'm like, "No, you being dead is not going to be great for the show. Please don't do that."
Nah, don't be taking what I say serious though. Don't be taking what I say serious. I am a big teddy bear. Yes, I am a big softie.
Yeah, we can hear you, bud.
I don't let that person out anymore. He stays He stays hidden. But I mean, y'all can see him if y'all want. I could bring him out every now and then. Come meet me on the field. Give me a helmet and some shoulder pads. Y'all see him.
Cash you outside?
Yeah, catch me outside. How about that? Yep, you're right, Mr. Michael Wynn. EM bring nightmares come true. EM make nightmares come true. I got you, Win. Don't worry. I know you was gassing me. Ooh. Ooh. Do you want to be strong like Eric? Hey, I love the way you be gassing my workouts, Scott. I ain't posted on there in a while, but y'all could check out my workout page. Yeah, Chrissy,
it's going to be a 2-donut race. It is really going to be a 2-donut race.
Nick did say that right after he got hit by the car. I know he was trying to get hit after he had the neck brace. It make no sense.
Yeah, he just thought it would
leave
be like
the beast for the
funny.
2-donut race. I don't need to bring him out for the 2-donut race. I promise you. He will not be out.
Weren't we talking about like it could actually be more donuts than that? It just depends on how many you can eat. You're gonna eat at least 2 while you run.
It just depends
right?
on if they Krispy Kremes, we gonna be good. But if they like some,
if anyone knows, so May 16th is gonna be this date. We're gonna pick the time of day. We'll all definitely be able to see it live. We're gonna try to get some live drone footage going too, if we can. I'm sure it's gonna be a nightmare for me to produce.
Ruben, that'd be a good one, but it's only 32 teams, my brother. So that means in 32 answers, somebody already have it.
Let's. As soon as he's ready, we're gonna go live over to Andrew Mutty because we also have Mary Jane Green who's coming on soon too. Mm-hmm.
Ruben. Oh, by the way, Ruben. Wait, is it Ruben or Rodney? Rodney, right? Rodney is the one. Rodney.
The hot sauce?
Rodney. Just know you ain't on right now, but you will probably see this later, my brother. Because of you, I am hurting. I ain't gonna say why, but just know it's all your fault. Because just like everything that you love, it comes with some hate. You know, everything, you can love something, but then, you know, it can also hurt you because you love it so much it can hurt you. And sometimes you got to let things go. And let me tell you, I got to let some things go. Rodney, we'll talk about it. Do you understand this conversation? We are getting home-like donuts. What does that mean, Nate? Like big ones? Homemade? Oh, we're getting homemade? Is that what you were trying to say? Homemade donuts? If we get the little dots, I could probably eat about 15 of them in a race. Scott said, "Where's that answer?"
Yeah, no, I just reached out to him, Scott. Don't worry, we're going for it.
Scott losing his mind right now. He like, I can't remember all of these.
Andrew Mutty, are you ready?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a reoccurring segment on Saturdays where Andrew Mutty from Beantown, Greentown comes on and he gives us some cool cultivation tips. So we're going to go over right now to Andrew.
Love you, Andrew.
Andrew, you're on. We appreciate you joining us every Saturday. And how are you? We're so happy to have you. By the way, you have a show every Sunday that comes on for 420 every Sunday on the Beantown Greentown Facebook page. So everyone needs to make sure you're following Beantown Greentown. Also on Instagram because they have amazing contests. I'm sure Andrew's going to tell you about that. But folks, before Andrew gets into it, make sure you're following Beantown Greentown and get ready tomorrow for their show because it's awesome. So Andrew, we're so happy that you joined us today. Why don't you go ahead and take it away?
Hey, thanks for having me on again. I think we can officially name the our little section here for Disrupt America, and I'll send you some art coming up. But yeah, I got a special guest here. This is my oldest daughter named Hula.
Hi, Hula.
Hula.
Hi, Hula.
Hi. Say hi. Hi. So you want to tell everybody what you know about Daddy's Flowers? People. Yeah, so it helps people. So that's what we teach our young ones around here is that cannabis medicine helps people. It's not demonized. This is the generation that will teach the rest of the world the plant's benefits. And we strongly believe that. So we think of it as you got to start somewhere. The dinosaurs will die. The old people that do not like it and the old school mentality of thinking will eventually change with this generation right here. So she knows it's daddy's medicine. She knows it's helping people. She knows that mommy and daddy have their own medicated cookies that aren't good for kids. What happens if you eat a cookie? Huh? What happens if you eat one of mommy and daddy's cookies? You get sick. Yeah, you might get sick and you might have a little too much. So we try to teach them that to stay away from it. So when they're able to properly medicate as adults, we're going to let them do that. So you going to let daddy do the show? Yep. Okay, say bye to everybody. Bye. Okay. We're out. I'm going to go play the game with mommy. Okay, go play with mommy. Awesome. So we're going to be doing a Sunday Fun Day every 420, every Sunday at 420. Part of Disrupt America, we're going to do our own fun show. It's kind of based off a spoof of the news, but it's going to bring you cannabis news as it comes in. So we're really excited about that. And we're also doing a huge giveaway this week. This week is our Mother's Day giveaway. So what we're doing is we're setting people up to get a haircut. We're specifically picking a mother that has just blown out hair, split ends, too many roots. So if you haven't noticed, go onto our Instagram, and that's at Beantown_Greentown, and you can enter to win and hopefully have your hair done by the lovely Jenny Lemons, who is Keith Laham's wife. Keith's one of our Beantown Greentown co-founders, and she will take care of you in a safe, clean environment, your own home. She'll come masked, she'll come desanitized and everything. So get online, check it out, post a picture of your crazy hair. We're advocating for people to do it as crazy as possible to get our attention. We've seen a couple of good ones so far, and we'll show them all on the show tomorrow at 420. So if you don't know, our business is all about more weed, less greed. We've given out tens of thousands of these stickers. I got them plastered all over the country. I got to travel a couple summers ago down to California, so I put them up all the way across America, Grand Canyon, all the way out to California and back. So thanks for tuning in. This is Grow Knowledge with me, Dr. Kind. We started our business based on being weird scientists and like Dr. Spock and the Doc from Back to the Future. But we're kind of crazy in some of the things we'll do. So we'll grow a DWC in a huge trash barrel. We'll grow a 5-gallon inside of a huge trash barrel of soil. So we have all these fun, interesting projects that we do, and you can find them all online on our Instagram and come check them out. But today's topic, and I'm kind of progressing as my grow in my house goes. So last week we did transplanting, and we talked about LST, some low stress training, how to get your plant to branch out some more. So I just kind of wanted to do a quick little follow-up on what that discussion was, and show you this plant that I got right here that has been low stress trained for probably about a good period of 5 or 6 days, maybe a week now. But if you can tell, the main stalk is started to lay it down here, and it could actually probably get laid down a little more. But as you see, coming up from behind here is all these beautiful underling branches that will eventually become main colas. So we're going to let this keep growing and growing. You can tell by these huge fan leaves up top that this plant really wants to grow. But in order to slow down the natural progression of the main stem going forward, I did a little technique on this one called FIM. And it's FIM. If you look it up online and you follow the FIM trend, it came from when people were topping a lot, and everybody would top, and it would try to create 2 more colas out of that one place you top. But this dude happened to say, oh, fuck, I missed. And he missed the top. But what he did was he created what was an interesting technique that slows it down, but doesn't necessarily cause super high stress. It's still like a high stress technique, but it's not 100% super blown out, wicked stressful. And you can tell the leaves here are a little funky as they come back to life, but that really helps the plant send signals down to these lobes to come up. They're going to really just grow up and create a big, big, healthy bush. And when I grow, I'm growing indoors, and I want to kind of maximize my yield for my space. So I want to have as many colas that I can get. So let's talk about a couple of plants. This is I called it DQ. It's Drama Queen by Mass Medical. We love these seeds and how they grow. And as you can tell here, this one was topped. So let's get that look right there. Okay, you see that right there? Yep, that was just buttoned right off the top. And what's happened since in the last week of this getting topped is all these lowers are just shooting right up. So what I'll do is I'm going to transplant this into a 5-gallon fabric pot, and then I'm going to lay it down just like I did the last. So this plant's probably a week or week and a half behind this plant. And I'm creating a perpetual cycle in my garden so that, every 30 to 60 days, I always have something new to cut, something new for all my friends to rip on and smoke. So we like to do a FIM technique. I don't like to kill the plant too much. Don't like to take off too many leaves. Just very specific when here and there and possible. So here's another one. This is a sherbet plant coming up. But one thing I love about this plant is check this out. It's just growing this massive boner of a side branch over here. It's just like, whoa, check me out. So this plant hasn't shown sex yet, but since I said boner, it might be a male. You never know. But anyways, this plant, I can do a live topping demonstration for you right here. So what I like to do is I like to get in there. I just like to get in there, spread all the leaves apart, and find that one place that you just really think is going to make a nice little cut. I'm going to say right there. Okay. And I'm just literally going to use my fingernail. And I'm going to pop it right like this. So boom, there you go. Live top, done. And this right here is salad, baby. Eat it. And you just lay it down like this, This is going to be the next step. So after I chopped it, I'm going to transplant it, and I'm going to push it right down, right like this. And that's all going to grow up right up from the back. So that was a nice little top, okay? That sherbet tastes like sherbet. I'm going to wash that on down here. So we got here another plant. It's called the Beantown, Greentown, Acapulco Gold. We found some old school Acapulcos, and we got a bunch of males and females, so we decided to crossbreed them. It's a back cross, so this is a pretty healthy genetic line right here. Look at it. It likes to grow lanky and tall. Sometimes a sign of a lanky, tall plant is a male plant. So this hasn't really expressed any of its sexual organs yet to show us what it is, but you never know. So anyways, we're going to get into a little FIM job right here. FIM job. So here we go. Here's the very, very top, right? So I'll spread all these down even further. And I just want that very, very tip, that super tip right there. There it is. Okay. Now I got that. That's my baby right there. That's what I'm gonna nip. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab it halfway in between the very node and the top of the leaves. And I'm just gonna pinch it. Boom. Just like that. Now that's proper FIM right there. Now what's going to happen is the growth up is going to stop, and it's going to send signals down to these lowers to start growing more branches. You can also FIM and bend over for LST to help create more arms, more branches, more colas, more weed, because that's what we want to do. So that's a couple live technique demonstrations right there. I'll also show you a couple more. This is another drama queen. But this baby right here was topped, obviously. All right. And you see all these branches just getting vigorous growth right here out of the bottom. So once this gets transplanted, this thing's going to take off. These roots are just going to go crazy, and so are those lower leaves. All right, here's another one. This one's doing a little bit of funkiness, right? Check it out. All these little lowers, they're all coming up. Some are growing faster than others. That's what you want. Here's another one that was just topped. So if I'm in my garden and I'm looking around and, some things are growing faster than others and I want to keep an even canopy and keep everything kind of around the same height, I'll just kind of pinch and top and grab what I can. Like I said, not to mess with it too much, just let the plant do its natural thing. So here's, we'll go back to this one because this is an important topic right here. As these branches start to grow, right? When do you let go of the LST, right? Just let them grow. You almost want these taller than what you're holding down over here, right? So once that gets up to here, about this high, and this is still down here, I'm going to release this because these are now achieving a higher height than the top of the plant, and then this other side of the plant is going to have to catch up. So then I'll give it 2.5 weeks in veg still, and these will be like this tall, all these massive branches, and then we'll have all this potential for nice bud for cola. Then you shove it in a flower and just let it go. So that's what I got for you. That's my quick little tips of the days with those topping, those Femin. Y'all can try it. Listen, pop more seeds. Just keep popping them. Keep popping seeds and keep learning. If anybody needs clones, we got a cool clone network with a bunch of people growing some stuff that we can share and give out to people. We're going to do our teas and trees contest that we do once a week because of this Mother's Day thing. We got some stuff in the way right now, but I love giving away clones, the trees, and I love giving away teas, which are our t-shirts. So I want to make sure everybody stays on top of that. But Sunday fun day, tomorrow 420, we're going to have a fun show. We got some stuff lined up already. I got a few amazing guests that we're looking to book. We don't know yet, but Dr. Umer's promised to come on with us and talk about kids and cannabis. Bobby Nuggs is going to come on. He's going to talk to us about his interpretation program. He went to Spain. He's got some awesome stuff going on. And we're going to also have Erica from Mammoth come on at some point too. So we don't know who or how we're going to book those shows yet, but we'll surprise you today with the guests.
Well, Erica better, she better, when we asked her to come on this show, she told us that she was awfully busy. And I was like,
she's moving this weekend. So I was like trying to get her to come and get on the show. And so I think I'm just going to give her a pass this week. Say, hey, go move.
Well, yeah, she gets a pass this week, but I'm talking about like 4 or 5 weeks ago when I was like, hey, Erica, you want to come on the show? She's like, I'm really busy. And I'm like, oh, well, we do it every single day. So whenever you happen to be free. And she's like, yeah, things are really busy right now.
She's a good soul. She'll pick up on it.
She's actually shown up in the comments a number of times, and we did we sang happy birthday to her on her
I'm going to make sure she come on the show.
Oh, yeah. I was there singing that, too.
I sang happy birthday. Mike didn't sing nothing.
You sing a happy birthday every day you wake up.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you stick the show away. That's
He be trying to get all the credit for the things I be doing. He know.
Hey, listen, if Danny Danko is still watching, I'm looking for a cut of that strawberry cough or some seeds. I've imported a couple of cuts and some seeds, but I don't think they're the originals, and I want some originals because people around here are looking for it. And if we could share the love, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure if he's listening, he'll consider it if he can. Well, anyway. Eric's laughing. I don't know why Eric's laughing. I don't know why Eric's laughing. It's very distracting to me. Oh, something in the comments. Okay. No, yeah, that would be amazing. I would love to try some of that if you ever get your hands on it. If you guys ever grow any, that'd be super awesome.
Yeah, hey, we would. Yeah.
Dude, you did awesome. Again, it was really lovely to see your daughter up there. Everyone, she's so cute, and then also, everyone's so impressed. And in the comments we're talking about.
Amanda said he sounds like my mom. I'm embarrassed to say she's been growing for years, and I've just been collecting seeds.
Oh, hey, listen, you gotta respect a mom that's growing. That is like, that's love right there. Like, mom should be teaching you how to grow, or vice versa. Like, that's
Shout out to Randy, who also said OG strawberry cough, please.
Oh yeah. Randy, I'm telling you, we need some of that strawberry cough love, that original Cushman. That's one of the OG strains. Like, if you got the original cut, it's like a really, really dope strain. But it doesn't come around often. You can't find it much. Whatever.
So
I'll grow it in our facility.
Andrew, we're totally psyched for your show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which is, I think usually you're going to start at around 4, but it's really meant it's like a 4:20 show, right?
Right. Yeah. So we'll probably come on just a little bit early. I was doing a show with the Talking Dead yesterday, and it was really cool because they got everybody on early, and everybody's going, and the show's rocking and rolling, and then they went live. So maybe we do it, and we smoke with everybody at 4:20 just to kind of keep it live.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
In the moment.
Well, we're excited for your show tomorrow. Everyone needs to be joining and watching every week, every Sunday.
Yeah.
And then also, folks need to make sure that they're following you guys out on Instagram and Facebook, because you do a bunch of cool contests, and a lot of times you gotta be like looking at the Instagram account to be able to participate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, like most of our engagement is through Instagram. It's the platform we started on in 2016, and we started just teaching people how to grow with masks on. Like, we were like literally like this. We didn't want to show our faces. And we just took the years of knowledge that we had and just threw it out on Instagram. But Instagram's where we start everything, and then it floods over to Facebook. So we generally watch Instagram the most. But dude, you should see some of these moms that sent us some pictures. It's awesome. Like, that's funny to see that come through.
Yeah, we actually had some moms in the comments too earlier talking about how they really needed that hair appointment with Jen.
Oh yeah. I need that hair appointment with Jen.
I need it badly. I might just fix the contest. I'm gonna,
I do too.
Do you remember Bosom Buddies when they like dressed up as Tom Hanks and the other dude dressed up like chicks so they could have a place to live?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that and enter your contest so that maybe if I win, then I can trick Jen into doing my hair.
I'm sure to get that post up soon, because we're gonna be starting collecting them.
I'm sure Jen would probably want to do my hair the best out of everybody's, because clearly I have.
Your hair is easy. Throw a bunch of wax on it and just.
What's that? Yeah, that's what you think. So you don't think it take a long time to get all of this ready?
No. Well, no. Wait, come on. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, of course it does.
Hey, I'm in the bathroom for 40 minutes in the morning, my brother. I'm in the bathroom.
What's that stuff they used to make back in the day that was like a gel, and you just put it on and all your hair would just fall off?
It's called Nair.
Nair.
Nair, yeah.
I don't use Nair.
You use that on your head?
No, I don't use that.
I
got a little
awesome.
machine.
Does it work that good? No, you were just like beep, beep, beep.
I got a little machine now. I use that, just like a little shaver thing.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, Andrew,
that the one that clips on your fingers and you just go back and forth.
Yeah, like slide. You just hold it in your hand. It's kind of like this.
Yeah, dude. So many good inventions. I love that one. That one's good.
It's
These
simple.
Little trinkets and doodads that you charge like $5 to $10 for, and dudes sell billions of them, crushing it. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Thank you very much. Hope everybody learned something today.
We appreciate you, dude. We'll see you soon.
Be safe, man.
Tomorrow, Sunday Fun Day.
Yeah, tomorrow. Sunday Fun Day, which you can watch both live on the Beantown Greentown page, and we also simulcast it over here too. So, but you should definitely follow them on Beantown Greentown, because they'll always go live to their page. Who knows?
Randy, I had curls.
They might not want to come.
I had curls before. It's a picture on my Instagram of me and curls. I had a lot of different hairstyles. I had dope waves. I had some 360s that was like probably like top 5 cleanest waves in the school. It had to be like top 5. I wore a do-rag every day. And I let the flap hang out because I thought I was 50 Cent. Because at them time, 50 Cent was jumping. I used to wear the do-rag and let the flap hang.
So just in case anyone has forgotten, we're running a contest, which it's a huge contest today, everyone. You know, Scott keeps telling us not to do contests anymore. He's like doing once a week. So the contest today is for a free medical certification or recertification, and also for an infused jam. It's a huge contest. Yeah, this is one of the best contests yet. So you're supposed to tag somebody, and you're supposed to guess what Danny Danko's favorite drink is.
What's the drink, Scott? You didn't even tell me. I tell you all my answers.
I know what it is. Danny told
but
me.
Scott's supposed to tell me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
I tell Scott all my answers. Why he don't tell me?
So you're tagging a friend in the comment, and then you're picking Danny Danko, what you think Danny Danko's favorite drink is.
Maybe. Are you gonna go?
Oh, we need to give him a hint. We need to give him a hint, right?
Don't be looking at me.
Do we need to give him a hint?
Yeah, I don't know the drink.
You want me to tell you? Hold on.
What's the drink? Oh.
Right? I never probably would have guessed that. It's not like it's a weird, super weird thing. It's just I never would have guessed that.
Dang, Scott, you told me too late. Mike told me first. You gotta move faster than that, bro.
Yeah, Heather, of course you can pick more than once, always. So we should give him a hint, right? I'm gonna look up something real quick.
I know a hint.
Do you?
Yep.
Excuse me. Huh. Oh, how about this? I never knew some of this stuff. That's pretty cool. Oh no, that's the plant. Whoops.
Yeah, that's actual.
Whoops. Shh, I didn't say anything. They don't even. That's weird. Maybe I can't look it up. I was trying to look it up. Yeah, I was trying to find some cool history thing about it, but I think I gotta do this.
Drink.
Yeah, I gotta put this after it.
Ooh.
Yeah, here we go.
We giving you a hit, Katrina. Don't worry. Do not worry. We gonna give you a hint so you can guess.
All right, so here's your hint.
They just gonna Google it. Watch. They're gonna Google what you say, and it's gonna pop up on Wikipedia. No.
Okay, so the
hey Scott, you better.
The name, it's French. The drink is French.
That's the hit. It's French.
The drink is French.
So go on Google and type in all drinks from France.
And you got to remember, you got to tag a friend and guess your guess.
Tag a friend and guess.
And yes, Heather Marie, you can guess as many times as you want. Our contest is always that you can guess as many times as you want. We don't want you to just guess once. You need to guess a bunch of times. And then maybe the friends you're tagging want to guess too.
Oh no, you've been listening with Amanda.
And then maybe you win.
You've been listening with Amanda on her phone, and then you just now logging in. Oh no, we got something to say about that, honey. First of all, we don't share screens. I had to get on a couple couples about that. We don't, just because you a couple don't mean y'all gotta share the screen. Get your own damn screen and watch the show, so we get them extra eyeballs. Miss Bonita. I'm just messing with you. Don't take what I say serious. If you've been watching, you'll know that I always mess with people.
Yeah, just in case you don't know that. You need to know.
But yeah, make sure you get in your own screen. Yeah, don't be looking at her phone no more. I'm gonna make sure she tell me. Do boom boom boom. Where all the comments at? Still no T in my name. I'm sorry, Karina. I keep saying Katrina. I'm sorry, Karina. I did not mean to get your name wrong. That is one thing I try to be good with is people names, but this accent that I got and a couple other things make it hard for me to say certain things. You know what I mean? I'm on the phone watching and commenting, but I listen throughout Pete's laptop Unless I have room, I put my volume on. No, absolutely not, Jessica. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You better move away from Scott. Scott, you know the rules, Scott. You been here 40 days and you breaking the rules and then you got snitched on. So you, all right, Scott, all right. See, it was that break yesterday. That break, we gave you a break yesterday and now you taking advantage of it. Now you starting to slip up. You starting to lose focus. You not on point no more. Just do your job, Scott. Just do your job.
So,
Your job.
so just as a reminder to everyone who's watching, we have a contest going right now. It's actually really cool. So it's both infused jam and then also that medical recommendation that people need for a medicinal card in Massachusetts. And it can also be for your renewal, and you can give it away. It doesn't have to be for you, which is why this is such a cool contest. This is probably like depending on who you go to for your recommendation. This prize today combo is probably like $150 to $250. And all y'all need to do is tag a friend and pick Danny Danko's favorite drink. Danny Danko was on earlier. He did not tell you what his favorite drink was. And I mentioned that it's French, so y'all, that's easy. Now it's a lot easier. So just start guessing in the comments, and then we'll be back and we'll figure out who the winner is. You know what I'm really happy about today, by the way, so far? Is that if somebody did win, that nobody said, hey, somebody already guessed it, because that's lousy. When I wouldn't want to.
Well, like a snitch?
Well, then it's like no fun for anyone anymore.
Snitches get stitches.
So we've had an amazing show so far, and even though Danny Danko came on first, I sort of feel like we may have saved the best for last.
Have we now?
Coming up next is...
Hey, Mary Green.
So coming up next is Mary Jane Green. So Mary Jane Green, by the way, is... she's on a show called The Ding Dong Show, which is the longest running show at the Comedy Store in LA. The Comedy Store is like totally famous. It's like it's like the Giant Comedy Club in LA, right? It's the famous one. She's a part of the longest running show at, I mean, so by the way, I used to go every Monday. I think it was Mondays. I used to go every Monday, and I used to bring some of my like Hollywood friends, and people would either totally get it and love it, or they would like look at me like I was crazy for bringing them there. And by the way, one person, I brought like an executive from Netflix, and that was one of the people that just turned to me and was like, I don't know if I get this or not. Like, what's going on? In the meantime, I used to bring other people, and they'd be like dying, and they're like, you didn't tell me how amazing this was going to be. So everyone, I want to say, and we switched to you, Mary Jane. Mary Jane Green, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today live from Los Angeles.
Hello. I'm having some technical difficulties. My dress is blending into my background. You see, there's not really a fire on my chest. It's a bow that's the same color as my background. And I had to do a lot of light that blows out my face because my eyeballs were vanishing in the background. I'm not sure why. And there's noise because the roof, there's people up there working. I don't know. I'm very unprofessional today, and I formally apologize.
Well, actually, I have to say that might be the coolest dress effect we've had on the show yet, so we actually appreciate it. And welcome to your little dog. What's your dog's name?
She's Pretty Girl.
She is.
We weren't planning on having Pretty Girl on. She's a brand new little puppy, but
oh my God.
I guess part of Pretty Girl's face vanishes in the background.
That's amazing. I know you're saying that you're having some technical difficulties, but for sure you're gonna have to teach me that trick for our show too, because I think it's really cool.
Oh, the background?
Yes.
You go into settings and it says virtual background, and then you just put a picture in.
I wonder if I put a picture of me in the background and then try to key me over the background of me. I wonder what that would be like.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah, you just go into your settings and it says virtual background, and you can put in any picture you want.
That is pretty awesome. Mary Jane, tell us about your time with the Ding Dong Show. Tell us about, for folks that don't know, tell us about the Ding Dong Show and tell us when and where we can watch it.
Well, if you didn't know, the Comedy Store is temporarily shut down because of quarantine.
Oh.
So the first Monday, you're correct, it's every Monday night. If you're in Los Angeles, 10 p.m. or not during the quarantine, but 10:30 p.m. we do live streaming. You can find it on YouTube, the Ding Dong Show. Somebody took the Ding Dong Show, so it's THE Ding Dong Show.
I can't believe that somebody took the Ding Dong Show.
You know, it's a bag of nuts from Spain, and there's something going on in Japan with a thing.
Oh.
And it was an album from the 40s for children's music.
I see. So tell us what the Ding Dong Show is all about.
Well, it's a variety show. Don Barris is the creator and founder. He's also known for a little movie called Windy City Heat. And they still continue. In that movie, the three main characters, a decade later, started a podcast. And I believe it's the first, because I saw that newscaster guy did a podcast. So it's the first movie that turned into an ongoing podcast. So Don created it, and he got the idea because at the Comedy Store, one thing he would do is he would host open mic with the owner that's no longer with us, Mitzi Shore.
Mm-hmm.
And
which is Pauly Shore's mom, right?
Pauly Shore's mom.
Yep.
Yes, she's no longer with us, but she created and made the Comedy Store everything, the wonderful bit stuff it is now. And so he noticed that there were a lot of open micers or people that are like, maybe you could say crazy, or it's like they were so committed to do their stand-up and they had no chance of a career whatsoever.
Right.
Like, they believed like that just unique characters and the people watching. So he thought, well, let's do a variety show. And it was going on quite a bit longer. I started about almost 20 years ago. Oh no. And I helped produce that, and I perform in it. Mm-hmm. I did stand up for the first time in the Ding Dong Show. And then I've been performing ever since. As of late, I only do my puppet show. Okay. I think you remember my puppet shows, right?
I think that I do. I think just before I left LA, you were starting to do them. But tell us about your puppet shows.
Well, that segment was This Day in History, and some of the stars were Vintage Nylon Stiletto. We have, let's see, who else is in there? Baymax from Big Hero 5.
Yeah.
Because I inspired is it Oscar or Emmy? Emmy, Oscar. I inspired the award that movie got from my stand-up performance.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and then I can't remember the other characters. It really depends.
So now that the coronavirus has hit, and you mentioned that the Comedy Store is temporarily closed. And by the way, were you about to mention that? Do they have like a date they're thinking they might open as long as everything's cool?
Well,
or not yet.
Last I heard was April 19th.
Okay.
And it just slid by. I'm not sure what the governor says. The doggy's going to knock over the light. Okay, hold on. My light was... Stop chewing. Stop chewing
We're
on
having
things.
some
Now I
technical
have the
difficulties.
puppy chewing on the cord. I apologize.
Oh, that's so cute.
I'm normally not this unprofessional, I swear. So I believe the governor is, actually, I have no idea. I tried to watch the news and it's really terrifying. And every single different channel is really dramatically different.
Mm-hmm.
And then my mom got bored, so she started sending me links to things, which terrified me even more. So I wear my mask and I wear my gloves, but then I got scared because one doctor said if you isolate yourself too much, you won't get the germs that you need to not get sick on a regular basis. So if that answers the story, I don't know when the Comedy Store will be open again.
Gotcha.
We've been having fun. The first week, Monday, we didn't go. We kind of just went on the Comedy Store patio and we tried to space each other 6 feet apart. And then the next week we ended up, I liked a parking lot that was really well lit and I thought it was pretty safe. And we ended up in an alley with some crazy people lurking. And so now we do it like a Zoom meeting to YouTube.
Right. Well, that's probably better than doing the show in an alleyway, I guess.
Well, we were afraid to go back to the Comedy Store because we really wouldn't want to have the cops stop and be like, why are you here? And we're like, but this is our home, and, get it reported to the people in charge. Who would get banned from the Comedy Store when they're not even open?
Right. Right. I have to say that my time that I lived in LA, one of my, I tried to come as much as I could, but one of my regular things was coming to the Ding Dong show. Like I did lots of cool stuff when I was in LA, but that was like one of the things that every Monday that I could, I would come and watch your show. And it was always, I thought it was hilarious. And it's
Thank you.
And I will say that for some people, it's an acquired taste. It's not necessarily everyone's cup of tea, but I thought it was actually brilliant. And I think that it was very interesting for me to bring in like entertainment industry executives to see the show.
And I will tell you this, I figured out pretty quick in the show that there's no way this is going to be sold. Like there's no way any major network will pick it up. No matter what. I mean, some of the charm of it is characters like, do you remember Schizo Surfer?
I do.
You can't control what he's going to say.
Right.
And that's some of the charm of it. He is on a hiatus right now. He got in a little trouble. It's all Ray Liotta's fault. I don't know if you want me to get into it.
Oh, you can get into it.
Well, did you guys see the Chantex commercials with Ray Liotta?
I think I remember the one you're talking about.
He is such a brilliant actor that Schizo decided his vaping tobacco wasn't enough. His smoking 2 packs a day wasn't enough. He wanted the Chantex, and it messed with his blood levels. Like it's now on the commercials that your white blood cell count will go screwy.
Okay.
So his doctor switched his medication, and he wound up going to the hospital. Then when he got out, he accidentally relapsed on crystal meth in the train station.
Oh, no.
We caught him pretty quick. He only did it, I believe, twice. He went vanished for a whole week. And then he came back to the show with a really bad attitude, called people bad names, and swore he wasn't on it when he was. So he's on a temporary getting better thing. And he's much better.
Well, that's good, and we, I say we, but I'll speak for me. He was always great on the show, and I hope that he recovers well and gets back as soon as possible.
He is recovered, and he's been doing his social media until yesterday, because the rule was, I don't know if you remember this, but he has to tweet minimum 2 times a day.
Okay.
And he has he has his own breathoscope, which is Periscope. Breathoscope, because a lot of times it's just him staring at the thing, seeing if it's working.
That's funny.
And so he was really good. He had like 8 weeks of social media every day. And then he lost and or broke his phone. I couldn't get a straight story. So now he's delayed on returning. But he's one of the fan favorites, and he just has such a big heart and is such a sweetie, but you can't predict him.
Yeah, very true. I remember going to some of your shows, and tourists would come in, and tourists who were fans of your show who had only ever watched it from afar and remotely, and it was just amazing to see how like happy those fans were to get to come and see you guys in person and actually meet you guys.
That was the Big 3 weekend.
I think it was.
Yeah, was that the one where we watched the Never Gonna Be Allowed to Be Seen pilot?
Yes.
Yes. That was a lovely weekend. Those fans are so awesome. We've had like 6 or 7 events, and the last one was a presidential debate between Walter Molinsky and Perry Caramello. And, Perry has some really bad stances. I don't want to get into politics, but if you're terrified with the president we have now, it's debatable if Perry would be better or worse. And we had people come as far as Norway, and Australia on 2 weeks' notice.
Wow.
That's great fans.
That is. Yeah, you definitely have some amazing fans. And for having done it for so many years consistently the way that you guys have, it's no surprise that you guys have so many admirers out there.
They're mainly the Big 3 fans, but we've had a lot of them cross over to the Ding Dong Show, because whenever we have one of those weekends, see Perry, the guy, he thinks he's above the Ding Dong Show. He thinks he's so much better than the Ding Dong Show. So it's always priceless to make him have to come on a Monday for all the fans.
Mm-hmm. Well, so Mary Jane, I know that you guys are doing your show sort of via Zoom for now.
And it doesn't have the charm yet. We haven't worked out the kinks. It's interesting. I feel it's kind of painful at this stage to experience, but the fans are happy that, they've been really supportive. Anytime any of us go on social media, the fans are there encouraging us and saying nice things.
Well, and also like the Ding Dong Show isn't it can be, but it isn't necessarily about like the most perfectly polished show. It's about everyone having this amazing and entertaining time, and sometimes it's super smooth, and sometimes it can be a little rough around the edges. It's just like our show, right? Like sometimes the dog knocks your light over, right?
Yeah. Yes. I've never been so unprofessional in all my life, and I would like to formally apologize.
Oh.
This fire coming through my bow is interesting to say the least.
Yeah, it's like you're the invisible woman, kind of.
Yes. And with the eyes earlier, I found a very pretty Art Deco 1920s with the columns.
Yep.
But you couldn't see my face. Like there were lines and the eyeballs were gone. Terrifying.
Yeah. That's funny.
So how have you been doing? How is the stuff going on your side of the other side of the country?
So, I've had a TV show in development now called the Cannabis Supper Club Show for quite some time, and that was going to be shot aligned with a bunch of cannabis conventions, but all of those got postponed. So we're looking to see how we're going to reschedule that getting shot, but that's all still moving forward. And then in the meantime, as soon as we heard that we all were sort of like being strongly recommended to stay at home, we started streaming the show every morning. So I think today is day 42 in a row that we've been doing the show for 2 hours every single day of the week for 42 days now.
That is excellent. Absolutely wonderful. What's you guys' legality status over there?
So,
with the cannabis?
In Massachusetts, generally both recreational and medicinal are both legal, but unlike California right now, recreational dispensaries are not considered essential operations. So right now, all that is open for legal purchase are medicinal dispensaries. And
now, were you guys medical before you went recreational, or did it just all lump together?
No, it was definitely a spread out. So first it was medicinal for I think 3 or 4 years, and then they finally rolled out recreational, and that actually was only about, I want to say maybe like a little over a year and a half ago that they finally legalized rec, and so the rollout of recreational dispensaries has actually been really slow here too. It's sort of a big issue.
Yeah, politically, which would you prefer? Because I kind of think California might have screwed up.
Well, so to me, it's all one and the same, and really the only difference here in Massachusetts is that you either need to like get a card, which means you need to go like through a process and get the. It's not quite as easy as it is in California to get your card. With California, like I could go to Venice Beach and stop in a shop for, and pay them whatever they're going to pay, and like walk out and be able to buy.
Oh, medical.
Yes.
Medical, yeah.
But here in Massachusetts, that process, it takes a couple of days. It's still fairly easy, but it still takes a couple of days for that process to happen, and it's also kind of expensive in Massachusetts. So it's anywhere between like usually kind of like $200 to $350 to like go through the certification and then also get your actual card. But then recreational, it's the same weed, by the way. So all in Massachusetts, if you're buying medicinal or you're buying recreational, usually it's the sources are often providing for both, right?
No, they tax recreational, but they don't tax medicinal, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So like, your average ounce of decent weed in a medical dispensary here in Massachusetts might be around $250, and then for recreational it's around $425.
Okay.
$425. They run specials, but it's definitely like you get what you pay for with the dispensaries, because a lot of it can be old weed. Like they'll run specials, but then you look at the date and it was like grown a year ago.
Oh, are they testing?
They definitely test. Yes, and Massachusetts is very stringent, and they have strict standards around testing, and everything needs to be tested. They have, I think, one company that does all the testing in Massachusetts. And so generally, but the problem with testing though, and this is a problem everywhere around the country, is that cultivation centers are often allowed by their respective states to grow moldy weed as long as they're going to extract that weed. So as long as it's going to go into vape pens or be used in edibles, the states are very lax around cultivars having like powder mold or other issues with the plants, because
it's opposite here. You
really?
You have to test the weed, and then you test the extract, and then you test the edibles or the final product. So it can be very expensive. I think it was right before the quarantine hit, in about 1 year, because I think it was last January, California hit, I believe, $1 billion in tax revenue just from weed.
Wow.
And I don't like the way they formulated it. I think that our state, which the medical was always really nice. Like I really was proud of the way California was like thorough and responsible with all the medical going back to 2004. And I think we kind of sold out to big business, which some people are like, oh, who cares? But do you really want like McDonald's or Coca-Cola or Marlboro handling your weed?
Well, and eventually, I think with most different even non-cannabis markets, like you sort of end up with that. You end up with like sort of like the Budweiser of whatever it is, and then you end up with like people who are making really good versions of it too. I feel like Massachusetts sort of missed the boat a little bit too when it came to small business versus big business, and we were supposed to be trying to like be the poster child for like, hey, California didn't do it right and Colorado didn't do it necessarily right, and so we're going to do it right, and we've done a better job, but we still haven't done the perfect job because right now there's loopholes so that some of the big companies have equal priority to folks that were really supposed to have like the top priority, like folks that were affected by the drug war, right? Like those folks were supposed to sort of get first dibs to be able to start businesses and make some money to help for reparations for the damage of their life being, screwed up because they were stopped for an ounce of pot 20 years ago and spent a few years in jail, right? Or got a felony from it. So Massachusetts was supposed to be like, yes, we're going to put all of those people up first so that they can get like first dibs. And that sort of happened, but what happened was now there's all kinds of exceptions. And so, for instance, medicinal dispensaries in Massachusetts have equal access to priority as somebody that went to jail for an ounce of pot for 20 years.
That's crazy.
It kind of is. And we've also had some weird instances of stuff where, like, towns and cities here will say, hey, because we're part of the process, like if Mary Jane, if you want to open a dispensary here in Massachusetts, you have to not just go through the state, but you have to get a town or city to like be cool with the fact that you want to open up a place in their town or city, right?
I think we might kind of do that too, because I saw a map where like Malibu, I think Malibu would be the best place to own any type of cannabis operation. Mm-hmm. And they only have one store, I believe. I might be incorrect because at one point they had two, but I think when they passed the law, only one store was permitted to stay open.
Wow.
Which is not that big of an area, but I mean, that's kind of that's a monopoly, which should be illegal in America. Just have one, and so the permits are pretty crazy. It's very complicated. Like, I think you would definitely have to consult a lawyer before having, seriously. Mm-hmm. As a good lawyer before having which you should do with any business anyways. But I've been able to read bills and props and, things and understand at least 70, 90% of it. Yep. This one, I have no idea. I don't know where the money for what goes. I don't know. And the thing that scared me is all the certain monies is going to the California agricultural. And I don't know if you know of the documentary about palm juice and the Wonderland pistachios.
I don't.
There's a whole county where none of the town was permitted to have water, only the corporation. And so all the employees of the town, like they had no water. Like they couldn't use their sink, they couldn't bathe. It was kind of some shady stuff. Like they reroute, so I don't know if I trust them being in charge of this as well. But, I do think it's kind of cool that when I was a teenager, this was unimaginable. And now it's actually, more available than alcohol.
Yeah, here in Massachusetts, liquor stores have been deemed as essential operations. So you literally have people can buy alcohol, but they can't recreationally buy marijuana.
Oh.
Kind of crazy, huh?
Well, at least they didn't cut out the medicinal.
No, that's very true. And actually, they're allowing for recreational cultivars and manufacturers to remain open. They just have to supply medicinal dispensaries for now. The only ones that are really left out that are probably going to be screwed is anyone that opened up a retail dispensary. They're not allowed to be open right now. So especially for some of the small business people that opened up retail dispensaries, it's probably a real struggle right now because they're paying for everything without being able to sell anything.
Now, are they letting people in, or do you just go to the door, you drive up in your car, they come out and help you?
Yeah, it's curbside here in Massachusetts. Yeah.
That's good. Same as food.
Yeah, well, but I'll tell you, with food here in Massachusetts, they're letting people go in. They just don't let you sit in the restaurants, but everyone just walks in. It's not curbside. You know, everywhere.
I've seen a few of those. Yep. I think it's a restaurant by restaurant basis. Mm-hmm. Because I have heard of one or two where you walk in, you wait, and you leave.
Mary Jane, I really appreciate all the time that you spent with us today. And I'm sorry that we were a couple of minutes late coming on to you. We definitely
I had to take over the interview. I didn't mean to start asking you questions. I
Oh,
guess
no, no.
that's another unprofessional thing.
No. I totally appreciate it. No, it was totally an interesting conversation, and actually, the people that are watching, they love to hear about this stuff, and they love to hear like people from outside of like our area. They love to hear like not just what's important to them, but also like their opinions on stuff. So I think it was really cool for us to talk about this because it's actually been a big deal in Massachusetts. In fact, every day we give away prizes on this show, and today's prize is a free certification or recertification for a Massachusetts medicinal card,
Ooh.
which is really cool. They're usually like 150, $200, and so we're giving away one for free and some infused jam, which is really awesome.
Ooh, very awesome.
Yeah, so
I had my medical card before California even had the dispensaries.
So was that allowing you to like grow and possess or something? What was that allowing you to do?
That was in case I was stopped by authorities, and it allowed me to supposedly have like 7 plants. But it was a real gray area. I'd gotten it when I modeled for High Times. I don't know if you remember, I was a pro pot pinup in High Times a bunch before it was super trendy.
I do remember that,
and
yes.
The editor over there said, you know what, you should get a license. And he actually recommended me a doctor that worked on the 1996 in California Prop 215. So she was really like a real doctor. She wasn't like drive down Hollywood Boulevard, pay $35.
Right.
Like she was so wonderful. She taught me a lot. She really helped me. She really worked hard on organizing California's medicinal business, at least as of a while ago. I think California sold out really bad, and I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, it's one of those tough things because you're dealing with like a whole bunch of people making these decisions and rules, and it's we know it's never going to be perfect, but it's I don't know. I think for a lot of us who consider ourselves activists and who have been around sort of in the scene for a long time, like it's always been very frustrating, right? So I don't know. It's nice though that at least it's nice that it's legal on some level, right? Like you remember years ago it was all illegal and and that sucked. That sucked. So it's at least better now. It's not perfect, but it
is better, and there's always bad loopholes. Like we had a problem. They did a bunch of documentaries. Like I don't know if you remember, I had my candy bar made by the first company that ever did candy in California.
Okay.
And so I didn't have anything to do with the manufacturing. That was separate, but I told them exactly how I wanted it. The strongest indica dark chocolate, the strongest indica marshmallow, and strongest indica caramel. It was so strong, it was 2 little bars in the package, and nobody could finish the entire both bars. And it had my pinup picture on it. And when I can't remember which president it was, he sent the National Guard to like try to stop patients from coming in California. Mm-hmm. And it was a few documentaries about it. And so they interrogated all the stores to find out who I was and where I was located, even though I had nothing to do with the manufacturing. And thank goodness, not a single store opened up the filing cabinet and gave them a copy of my driver's license.
Wow. Well, that's good.
So, the politics, as long as the politics aren't scary, it's going to be confusing and bad either way. And as long as we never get back to that point where, I forget, that must have been, I don't want to say Bush. Would that have been Bush? Who was before Obama?
Bush.
Yeah, he did that. He sent the National Guard to stop people from the dispensaries. And in West Hollywood, it was a beautiful sight. You had all the West Hollywood sheriffs nose to nose with the National Guard.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was a little crazy. I did not, I'm, maybe not political enough. For my safety, I did not go out. I just drove by and was like, oh, let's see if another one's not having trouble.
Right. Man. Yeah, thankfully we didn't have to go through all that. You guys went through all of that, and so by the time it got around to Massachusetts, things were, I guess, a little bit more clear cut, and we didn't.
Yeah, well, I think once all the states have at least medicinal, I don't know if it's a rumor, but if over half the states have it, like federal has to kind of like let it go. Even though I think paperclip style, we are federally decriminalized. But I think once every single state has their own laws in place, it will really completely be absolutely in the best place.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Because right now, a lot of the limitations are federally, and people worrying about state to state, interstate, state to state commerce and traveling with it, and.
Oh yeah, you can. But
right.
I think in LAX, if you're going to a state that it is legal, you can actually go through LAX with under a gram of extract and maybe, I don't know how much weed. I think it's under an ounce, but you want to look it up before you fly. But I believe like LA to Las Vegas, you can actually fly with weed.
I guess no more having to sneak it through. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that's allowed when you're not supposed to cross state lines. But this is for personal. This isn't for business.
Right. Well, Mary Jane, we really appreciate you hanging out with us for so long.
Thank you.
And it's so nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a couple of years, so I'm really happy to be able to see your face again.
Well, I hear plane tickets are cheap right now if you want to risk your life.
You know what? They're super cheap, and we were just waiting for a sponsor because I was like ready to. I'm like, hey, the hotels are desolate too. Like, if somebody wants to fly us out, we'll go do
Not all of them. They are putting which a good thing is they're putting a lot of homeless people in the hotels.
Oh, that's good. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Well, Mary Jane, thank you so much for spending so much time with us. We put up links to all of your stuff so that people can find you guys and follow you. And we want to definitely have you back again on someday soon.
Definitely, and hopefully the roof won't be being torn apart. And I'll do better color coordination with my outfit and backdrop. I promise.
Well, you were lovely as always. We appreciate you, Mary Jane, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mary Jane Green. We appreciate her hanging out with us, spending some time with us. I still need a haircut. You all have been waiting. All right, here, ready for a last hint? Last.
Nobody guessed it.
Last hint. It's wine. It's French. It's wine. It's a huge contest today. I know who's still listening. Let's see. Who do you got still here? There's still some. There's enough of you. I don't think anyone got it yet because Scott didn't tell us. So it's a French wine. That's all you need to guess. Nobody wants to guess. I'll guess.
It's a French wine.
Yeah, no one's guessed it yet. It's a French wine. Just guess it. Somebody needs to guess it. It's French and it's wine. And really you're supposed to tag somebody and then guess it. So tag a person and it's a French wine. And we're going to, as soon as somebody guesses it, we'll do our countdown and announce the winner. We appreciate all of you guys hanging out. We really appreciate today's show was awesome. We had Danny Danko on.
French wine.
We had Danny Danko on. We had Andrew Mutty, aka Dr. Kind, on. That was awesome. And then we had Mary Jane Green on. It was a very awesome
day.
Saturday.
It's 12:30. Y'all
Very
need to
awesome
hurry up
Saturday.
and guess before I just drink it and get along with this because I'm tired of talking to y'all.
You're ready to do the outro song.
I'm ready to get out of here.
Yeah, so for all of you that are still watching, hey, Adam, welcome to the comments. Nice to see you, buddy. What happened? Shh. No, I know. They were still guess. So we do have a winner.
Yeah, been waiting to get this going.
Oh, Scott sent 2 messages. So maybe they're.
I already know who won.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, they just commented.
Oh yeah, no, I saw that. Okay, so you want to announce the winner?
Announce the winner, cause we ready to go and get up out of here. The winner is. Ruben.
Wow.
Who was talking mad crap today too.
Ruben won.
And he was talking crap.
Ruben won.
So just know, Ruben, you gonna get an extra tax.
Ruben, you won.
You get a crap talking
free
tax.
Massachusetts certification or recertification for your thing, and you won.
Oh wait, Ruben. Yesterday you was saying, "Yo, if I win, I'm gonna make sure I give it to my dog Eric."
Did he?
That's what he said. So I don't know. Let's hope he can live up to this.
Congratulations, Ruben. We appreciate you, dude.
Hopefully he can live up to what he was saying yesterday.
A lot of cool stuff in the community. Ruben actually deserves to
Come
win.
on, Ruben. What was you saying yesterday? Let's hear it.
Congratulations, Ruben. And Ruben, the cool thing is if you don't need a recertification or a certification, you can actually gift that to somebody.
You can give it to me.
It's Mother's Day tomorrow. Just so you know.
Nah, Ruben, don't be trying to throw Rodney under the bus. That was you that said that. Now, I'm finna go back in the comments and look. Don't be trying to throw Rodney under the bus. He ain't been logged on or nothing.
We love all of you guys. We really appreciate that you all come and hang out with us and
hell no, we
and watch the
y'all.
show. And we appreciate that you like and share the show too. It really means a lot to us, and that we love all of you that show up in the comments and comment and stuff. It's really
we love y'all so much that we've made it to the end of the show, and we love y'all so much that we gotta go, and that's the end of this show. Peace.